I left him and ran back the way I'd come. I got the tow rope and slung it over my shoulder. I wriggled through the hedge and ran back into the wood. "Where are you, Dad?" "Over here. I got the rope." "Good. Now tie one end of it to the nearest tree." Using the torch all the time, I tied one end of the rope round the nearest tree. I lowered the other end down to my father. He grasped it with both hands and hauled himself up into a standing position. He stood only on his right leg. He kept his left foot off the ground by bending his knee. "Jeepers," he said. "This hurts. Do you think you can make it, Dad?" "I've got to make it. Is the rope tied properly?" "Yes." I saw his knuckles tighten as he gripped the rope. Then he came up, hand over hand, and as soon as he was in reach, I got hold of one of his arms and pulled for all I was worth. He came over the top edge of the pit, sliding on his chest and stomach. He lay on the ground, breathing fast and loud. "Let me rest a moment." I waited, kneeling beside him. "All right," he said. "Now for the next bit. Give me a hand, Danny. You'll have to do most of the work from now on." I helped him to keep his balance as he got up onto his one good foot. I moved up close to his right side, and he put both hands on my shoulders. "You can lean harder than that," I said. "Shine the light forward so we can see where we're going." "Let's go," he said. Hop, hop, hop. "Does it hurt terribly, Dad?" "It does when I hop," he said. "Each time I hop, it jars it." "There's the hedge," I said, waving the torch. "We're nearly there." Hop, hop, hop. When we reached the hedge, my legs gave way, and we both crashed to the ground. "I'm sorry," I said. "It's okay. Can you help me get through the hedge?" He crawled a bit, and I pulled a bit, and little by little we squeezed through. We sat on the grassy bank under the hedge to get a breather. "Shall I drive?" I said. "You'll have to. I've only got one foot." I helped him to hop over to the car, and after a bit of a struggle, he managed to get in. "The rope," I said. "We left it behind." "Forget it," he said. "It doesn't matter." I started the motor and switched on the headlamps. I backed the car and turned it round, and soon we were heading downhill on the bumpy track. We reached the bottom of the track and turned onto the road. With my father's hand on the wheel, I had no fear of hitting the hedge or anything else, so I pressed down hard on the accelerator, and soon we were home. As we approached the filling station, my father said, "I'll have to go to hospital for this. It must be set properly, and then put into plaster." "How long will you be in hospital?" "Don't worry, I'll be home before evening." "Will you be able to walk?" "Yes, they fix a metal thing into the plaster. It sticks out underneath the foot." "Should we go to the hospital now?" "No," he said. "I'll just lie down on the floor of the workshop and wait till it's time to call Doc Spencer. He'll arrange everything." "Call him now," I said. "No, I don't like waking doctors up at 4:30 in the morning." "What will you tell him, Dad? I mean, about how it happened." "I'll tell him the truth. Doc Spencer's my friend." We pulled into the filling station, and I parked the car right up against the workshop doors. I helped my father to get out. Then I held him round the waist as he hop-hopped the short distance into the workshop. Inside the workshop, he leaned against the tool bench for support and told me what to do next. First, I spread some sheets of newspaper out over the oily floor. Then I ran to the caravan and fetched 2 blankets and a pillow. I laid one blanket on the floor over the newspaper. I helped my father to lie down on the blanket. Then I put the pillow under his head and covered him up with the second blanket. "Put the phone down here so I can reach it." I did as he asked. "Can I get you anything, Dad? What about a hot drink?" "No, thank you. I mustn't have a thing. I'm going to have an anaesthetic soon, and you mustn't eat or drink anything at all before that. But you have something. Go and make yourself some breakfast. Then go to bed." "I'd like to wait here till the doctor comes." "Well, you must be dead tired, Danny." "I'm all right." I found an old wooden chair and pulled it up near him and sat down. He closed his eyes and seemed to be dozing off. My own eyes kept closing too. I couldn't keep them open. The next thing I heard was Doc Spencer's voice, saying to my father, "Well, my goodness me, William, what on earth have you been up to?" I opened my eyes and saw the doctor bending down over my father, who was still lying on the floor of the workshop. My father once told me that Doc Spencer had been looking after the people of our district for nearly 45 years. He was over 70 now and could have retired long ago, but he didn't want to retire, and his patients didn't want him to either. He was a tiny man with tiny hands and feet and a tiny round face. The face was as brown and wrinkled as a shriveled apple. "Which ankle?" he asked. "The left one," my father said.